So today's Father's Day, and I wanted to make a video about what I personally think is the best dad in the animal kingdom. And I already did that. I kind of fucked up. I put that video out a couple days too early. It's probably the penguin. The penguin goes above and beyond for not only its kids, but also its mating partner. So I'm gonna stick to my number 2 here, and this is a pretty strong number 2. A lot of people would say number 1, but I think this is a number 2. I think penguins take that number 1 spot. The second best dad in the animal kingdom has gotta be the seahorse. And only really because of one reason, and that one reason is that the male seahorse is actually the one that gives birth. I don't know how scientists figured out which one was male and which one was female. You know, if they asked me, I would have been like, yeah, that one with the big hole where the babies are coming out, that's the girl, for sure. 100%. Don't even need to check. Why would you? It's a hole. Babies come out of it. Female. You know? But yeah, the dads put up with some shit, man. And they're a pretty good husband as well. They're strictly monogamous. They just pick one sexy little seahorse and they fucking stick with that motherfucker for their whole life. Probably due to the fact that they can't really move fast, so they're like, holy shit, it's another one of me. Let's fucking go. I'm set, dude. Not only are they monogamous, but they're whipped too. They're absolutely whipped. Every morning, these things will dance with each other. Like literally every morning. They wake up, they're like, what's going on? Let's do the thing. And they start dancing. Sometimes for like over an hour. Like every day. They just like link tails, just float around, being all cute as fuck. If you ask me, I don't even know how the hell seahorses became a thing. They don't look like fucking anything else. They look like someone just made it in spore and just dropped it into the ocean. Like seriously, look at these things. It looks like if you asked your 4-year-old to draw a snake. Like these things look like what I'm gonna look like after gaming for 30 years, just hunched over. Got a mean case of the goon back. You know? The reason why I don't think they're the number 1 is because they don't really take care of their young afterwards. The reason why they get the advantage is that most fish, they lay their eggs and they just kind of fucking leave them. Like, okay, my job was done. I'm out. I'm gonna pump and dump. So yeah, they have a pretty good chance of making it. By pretty good, I mean about a 0.5% chance to make it to adulthood. Thousands of them get born at a time and only 0.5% live. So an estimated 5 of them make it out of the whole litter, which is actually pretty fucking good odds when it comes to the ocean, because the ocean's just goddamn brutal. Yeah, honestly, it's a miracle that any of these things live, if we're being honest. I mean, they're honestly kind of fucking shitty animals. I mean, they're the slowest fish in the sea. Like, literally the slowest fucking fish in the sea, because they got this, like, pathetic little dorsal fin that can, like, it moves wicked fucking fast. Like, it's like, you know, they're basically like the hummingbirds of the sea, except they got like the most dog shit perk ever. They got this dorsal fin that's literally the size of fucking like nothing. Like it's you can hardly even see the thing. It's like the shittiest fin in the world, and it works like a motherfucker. Like if this thing was bigger, they'd be zooming around, but they can't. Somehow they still end up being efficient predators. You know, they kind of got that Birdo or Kirby move where they just like fucking suck shit. You know. They got that fucking little tube thingy, and they just go and they suck up food, and like sometimes up to like 1,000 pieces of food a day, like little krill and planktons and shit. They just suck up 1,000 of them because they have to, because if they don't, they'll just die. The seahorse's mobility is so dog shit that sometimes they just die from exhaustion. Like if the weather's a little rough and the seawater's moving around a lot, they're trying their damnedest to not get tossed around by the sea, and they just die because they're just bad. They can actually look forward and backwards at the same time. I have a hard time wrapping my head around that one. Like, do they have like a 360 camera? Like, try to imagine looking forward and backward. How did? I don't know. That hurts my head, man. When they do that little courtship dance shit, they like wrap their tails around each other, and it's like cute as fuck. They can also change color. They do this when they do their little fucking tango thing. It's pretty cool. I don't know why they do it when they're mating, but they do. Obviously, the evolutionary advantage that they can camouflage themselves, which fucking thank God they have that, because it's not like they're gonna run away from anything. Luckily for them, though, they do kind of have an exoskeleton. It's a fleshy, hardened fucking thing, you know? So, like, they're not the best meal. So they don't have a ton of predators because of that, because they're, you know, fish have tastes. This is the most fucking typical shit I've ever heard. Females have a territory of about 100 square meters, and males have a territory of 0.5 square meters. I don't know what they're doing with all that space, but maybe they got like a bunch of shoes or something that they need storing places. 100 square meters, that's a little much. You know, these things really only grow a foot long at the max. I mean, some of them only grow an inch long. As if they didn't have it bad enough, the Chinese medicine trade takes up to 150 million of these things from the wild, and they end up getting sold as souvenirs and shit because you can just dry out a seahorse and it kind of looks the same. You can just keep it. Also, 1 million are taken from the wild to be sold as pets, and an estimated 1,000 of those millions survive a full 6 weeks. So yeah, these things, I wouldn't really want to be. If I had to pick an animal to be, I'm not picking seahorse, man. I mean, you look cool, you look like a fucking dragon underwater, but you're kind of useless. Let's give a big round of applause to the male seahorses, guys. I mean, come on, dude. This thing pumps out babies. It's got 1,000 of them inside of him at one time, and he just pumps them all out. The contractions can last up to 12 hours. That's gotta fucking suck, man. I can't imagine that's a very pleasant experience. Though getting rid of him does look a little satisfying. It kind of looks a little naughty, not gonna lie. Looks like he's enjoying himself a little bit too much. It's kind of weird.